All right, let's dive into one of the most intense and honestly one of the most misunderstood stories out there, the tale of Narasimha. Now, at first glance, you might think this is just a story about pure divine rage, but if you stick with me, you'll see it's about something so much deeper. We're going to peel back the layers on this incredible story. I mean, look at this. You see an image of Narasimha, part man, part lion, absolutely ferocious, and it's totally natural to think, okay, this is about vengeance. But what if I told you that all of that raw power isn't just about destruction? What if it's really about fulfilling a promise? Yeah, this story is not what it looks like on the surface. So every great story needs a great villain, right? Well, this one has Hiranyakashipu. He's a demon king with an ambition that is literally as big as the universe. And his goal? It was simple, but it was absolute. He wanted to become immortal. He was going to cheat death itself. And look, this wasn't just about wanting to live a long time. No, no. Hiranyakashipu's ambition was the ultimate flex of the ego. He wanted to bend the very laws of creation to his will, to become so powerful that no one, not even the gods, could touch him. He basically wanted to rewrite the source code of reality. So how did he plan on pulling this off? Well, in this universe, you can gain incredible power through intense meditation and then ask for something called a boon. Think of it as a divine favor. Hiranyakashipu performed these insane austerities to get the attention of Brahma, the creator god, so he could make his big request. And Hiranyakashipu was clever. He framed his request like a cosmic lawyer, trying to build this unbreakable contract for his own immortality. I mean, he thought of everything. He can't be killed by a man or a beast, not during the day or at night, not on the ground or up in the air, not indoors, not outdoors, and with no weapon of any kind. He really thought he had sealed every single loophole. It seemed like a perfect, unbeatable deal. So now Hiranyakashipu is walking around thinking he's completely invincible. The universe seems to be in some serious trouble, but the force that rises up to challenge him, it doesn't come from some grand army of the gods. Nope. It comes from inside his own palace. It comes from his own son, Prahlada. And this right here, this is the most important point. It's the number one thing people get wrong about this story. We think Narasimha is the hero, but all the sources really emphasize that Prahlada is the true hero. It's his unshakable faith, his bhakti, that is the engine driving this whole story. Everything that happens is a response to his devotion, not just his father's evil. This really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's the core conflict of the whole story. On one side, you've got Hiranyakashipu's massive ego shouting, "I am God." And on the other, you have his son's profound humility and faith, which says, no, God is everywhere. He's in everything. It is a cosmic battle between two totally opposite ways of seeing the world. So as you can probably guess, a tyrant who thinks he is God does not react well when his own son worships someone else. After trying and failing over and over again to break Prahlada's spirit, Hiranyakashipu decides to force a final, dramatic showdown. He gets so enraged that he points to a big stone pillar in his court and just mocks Prahlada. "You say your God is everywhere? Fine. Is he in this pillar?" And Prahlada, with just total, complete conviction, says, yes, he is. This is it. This is the moment where faith gets put to the ultimate test. Hiranyakashipu just loses it. In a final burst of fury, he swings his mace and smashes it against a pillar, trying to shatter his son's faith once and for all. And then, something impossible happens. A deep, loud crack echoes through the court, and the solid stone pillar begins to split open. And out of that shattered pillar comes a being that just defies all logic. A form that is not a man, but not a beast. It's both. It's this terrifying, awe-inspiring manifestation of divine power, born from a stone pillar just to protect a child's faith. This is Narasimha. And this is where the absolute genius of the story unfolds. Narasimha is literally a living, breathing loophole for every single one of Hiranyakashipu's conditions. Think about it. He wasn't killed by man or beast, but by Narasimha, who is part man, part lion. It didn't happen during the day or the night, but at twilight. He wasn't on the land or in the sky, but on Narasimha's lap. He wasn't inside or outside, but on the threshold of the palace doorway. And he wasn't killed by any weapon. He was killed by Narasimha's own claws. Every single one of those unbreakable conditions was perfectly honored and, at the same time, completely bypassed. It's just incredible. So, the battle is over, the tyrant is gone, but the story doesn't just stop there. The appearance of Narasimha isn't just about serving some cosmic justice. It's got a much, much deeper philosophical message about what faith and reality are all about. So, the really big takeaway here is this. This story isn't a celebration of violence. It is a profound statement about divine presence. Narasimha didn't just show up to destroy evil. He appeared to prove that true faith is never, ever abandoned, and that the divine can show up anywhere, anytime, in any form necessary to protect it. You know, this whole explainer really leaves us with some powerful ideas to think about. That the divine isn't just stuck in temples or idols. It can be in a stone pillar. That a pure, unwavering faith like Prahlada's is its own protection. That a huge ego like Hiranyakashipu's will always eventually cause its own downfall. And maybe most importantly, that the universe itself will literally bend its own rules to answer to sincere devotion. And that kind of brings us to the end. The story of Narasimha isn't just some ancient myth. It's really a question that's being asked to every single one of us. When you're challenged, when you're faced with overwhelming doubt, what is the pillar that you draw your own unshakable strength from? Something to think about.